Fast ships, dirty contraband, and free lanes filled with truly terrible decisions. Captains, welcome to Starfield, After Dark. From the Sebastian Banks boardroom, inside the lodge, on New Atlantis. This is your weekly descent into chaos, hot takes, and questionable faction loyalty. The settled systems are about to get spicy.
All right, we're live from the Sebastian Banks boardroom in the lodge on New Atlantis, where the lights are flickering, the fog machine is hissing, and if you hear the footsteps upstairs, don't panic. It's just my parents wondering why their basement suddenly sounds like a Varun cult pep rally. Welcome to Starfield After Dark, the only show in the settled systems broadcasting from a basement that still has a live, laugh, loved sign on the wall. And yes, we are legally required to warn viewers that this is the intended tone of the show. Tonight, we're channeling pure USA up all night chaos. B movies held together with duct tape, camp so thick it counts as insulation, and the kind of 2 a.m. energy that even has Gilbert Gottfried saying every time something pops into your head, think twice about it and do it anyways. It's been a week since Free Lanes and Terran Armada dropped, and I've assembled the kind of crew that could make Rhonda Shear blush. So judging by the look of them, they haven't slept since, and they seem to be running on caffeine, questionable decisions, and the hope my dad doesn't trip over the extension cord powering the entire set. Tonight, by the way, we have Renfail, Dwayne from Starfield with Normal People, Starfield Eclipse, and Captain CPU. All right, captains, let's drop out of cruise mode and kick this mission off right. State your captain's name, your faction allegiance, and the last place you touch down before stumbling into the lodge tonight. Bonus points if it wasn't a Chunks parking lot or a Varun prayer circle. Captains, the floor is yours. Let's go. Knights of Ren, Dwayne, Eclipse, and then Captain CPU. We're looking for your captain's name, faction allegiance, and the last place you touch down before stumbling here tonight. And if you could tell us one thing in your inventory that you absolutely refuse to drop, that would be great too. Let's go with Ren.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, character's name, Renfell. Faction allegiance, I'm Freestar this time around, which is new. Last place I touched down before the lodge, we were doing the Samco romance today. So I think that was wherever the cachet was for his, I forget his wife's name, ex-wife's name. And something in my inventory. Honestly, right now, I'm in love with the crowd control gun that you get from the Trackers Alliance. That new Mantis weapon and the ship, the Orchid, but the gun is the one that's in my inventory. It eats ammo, but holy moly, it's worth it, man. It's worth it. It's worth the ammo.
Incredible gun. Family Troubles with Sam. Dwayne, how about you?
So I'm currently in Crimson Fleet, and I hate it. I don't know why I'm there. I have Mathis as I think it's because I wanted Mathis as a companion, and I don't love it. Literally before this broadcast, I picked up that G robot. Is that what it's called? The new So I'm like out with Mathis, in with the G bot. I'm also like, I find that I'm in like 10 different factions. So I'm trying to do the Trekkers Alliance, but I can't because I'm in Crimson Fleet and like one of the quests has me. So then I'm like looking around for a stun gun. Anyway, that's the one thing that's not in my inventory. I'm a melee build, so my weapon is probably like a Tanto knife, I think it's called. That's the one thing I can't live without.
Nice. How about you, Eclipse?
So, captain's name? Straight up, it's Eclipse. Last place I left off before coming to the lodge was Archimedes 5A, the hills biome. It's my favorite place. It's absolutely stunning. One thing I cannot go without is got to be my hard target. But that new assault rifle with Terran Armada, that is slowly replacing my hard target. That is extremely customizable. I love that thing. I think that's it.
How about you, Captain? Captain CPU.
Well, let's see. I'm Captain CPU. My character's name is Faraday Morrow.
Yeah.
She's a UC girl, through and through. She knows there's problems with the UC, but that's just the way it is. She gets along well with them. Last place I was at was Fermi 4, I think. There was an interdiction there, and I think I cleared that out. That was the last thing. And let's see, one thing I refused to drop. Probably the Laredo Tombstone. She bought that when she was little bitty, level 4 or 5. First time she went to Aquila. Just never put it down. So, and now I can carry it through the Unity with me, so it's staying with me forever.
Nice. So my captain's name is Hicks. He's named after the character from Aliens, after the legendary Michael Biehn.
Pedro, what's his first name? What's Hicks' first name?
Dwayne.
Yeah.
It's a great name. And
He's
so
repping Dwayne. I had to throw it in there.
He's my character. He's been my character through and through all my Bethesda games, and so even for Skyrim, Dwayne Hicks was roaming the hills, Conan style. So yeah, that's I'm not really too original, so I keep it with Hicks. Before we touched down, we also recruited Model G and Maria Sharkevich, and I always have a Wakizashi sword because I watched too many ninja movies as a kid. I'm from Boston, so shout out to Channel 56 Kung Fu Theater. Anyways, last week I pronounced Starfield the greatest game I've ever played, and I want to know from you guys, where does it fall in terms of Bethesda games for you? What are your top 3 Bethesda games? Does Starfield fit in that? We'll get into the bigger picture with Starfield later. Let's keep the order. We'll go Ren for now. Ren, Dwayne, Eclipse, and Captain CPU.
It is these days. It is Starfield. It did not start off that way. I always joke with people. My initial review when the game first came out was, it's meh. It's good, but it's, it could get a lot better. And over time, as they've patched it, by the default of it being my science fiction, I love sci-fi more than anything else. Fallout 76 would be a second for me, just because I like the more modern quality of life features that it has compared to Fallout 4, even though Fallout 4 is a great game. And then after that, I would have to say The Elder Scrolls 6, which technically isn't out yet, but that's going to become my default favorite at that point, just by the nature of it being new. I do love Oblivion, though, so that's... Skyrim's good, but Oblivion, cheese for everyone. That's kind of usually where I go with that.
Nice. How about you, Dwayne?
I got to go with Fallout 4 as my all-time favorite. When I made the list, I was thinking it was Fallout New Vegas, not because I live here, but just because the story in that game, I think, is still unparalleled in Bethesda games, maybe because it was Obsidian, but amazing story. And I really wish that they would do an Oblivion-style remaster of New Vegas. I think it would be amazing.
So
but having said that, I mean, Fallout 4, I love the sarcastic responses. I'll regularly just walk around saying, drink some water. I don't know. It makes me laugh. All his sarcastic responses in that game, even though it's a canned, auto response.
So good.
Still love it. Starfield's definitely on that list. And then Fallout 3 probably.
What about you, Eclipse?
So with me, my number 1 spot's got to go to Morrowind. That was my first Bethesda game. I love the deep storytelling, even though it's got really janky kind of gameplay mechanics. It had some very deep storytelling. Starfield has to be my second favorite, but for different reasons. It gives you a lot of freedom to tell your own story, which I absolutely adore. And probably my favorite playthrough of a Bethesda game was Starfield, where I essentially ignored all the storylines and just told my own story and had fun with it.
Awesome.
So I love that aspect of Starfield where it gives you that freedom. Number 3 would probably be Skyrim for me. I think that had an excellent balance of gameplay and narrative. So I really enjoyed Skyrim a lot. But yeah, definitely, it's really close between Morrowind and Starfield, and I like them for completely different reasons. So it's hard to really position them. I'm probably picking Morrowind out of nostalgia, to be honest.
For sure. And what about you, Captain CPU?
Starfield, obviously. It's honestly the game I've been waiting for my whole life. I love space games. I love um, building ships and having exploration and stuff like that. And this is the first game that's really hit right at that sweet spot that I've always wanted. So Starfield's a big one. Oblivion, it may just be fond memories, but I just love that game so much. It's got such a great story, and then it's probably a tie between Fallout 4 and Skyrim. But Fallout 4, I think, really has a little bit of everything in it. Base building, characters. It's got a little story. It's got a little go out and explore. It's got a little of everything in it. It's a little more. It's beefier, I think, than Skyrim is. But Skyrim's got an awesome story too. So, but I think those are the big ones. Yeah.
I think Ren, I think you're right. Right, like Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, when they release that, whatever, it's going to be incredible. I mean, that's going to probably jump right to the top, right? But for me right now, I kind of agree too with Fallout 4. I would think Fallout 4 maybe would be like 3 or 4, but I'm going to go with Fallout 3 tonight just because, coming out of that vault, it was really one of the first times I played a game like that, and it was just so eye-opening, and so the experience was just it was like nothing I've ever done before. So
Boston bias.
Yeah, and I have a Boston bias for Fallout 4, right? And but number 2, I'd be Skyrim, Werewolves, Dawnguard, Conan vibes. I needed to find everything in that game. I needed to do everything in that game, and then number 1 for me would be Starfield. I love this game. I love the game. I embrace being a shill for this game. Let's go to the first game of the night. All right. This is called Unity Speed Dating. And so I'm going to give you guys each 3 different variant NG plus universes. You tell me which version you would date, avoid, or ghost. All right. And so we'll start with Dwayne. We'll go Dwayne, Eclipse, CPU, and then Renfail. All right. And so I'm going to give you 3 universes. You tell me what you would date, what you would avoid, what you would ghost. All right. Universe A. The lodge is now a chunks, and everyone works there, even the hunter. Universe B. Every companion has a mustache, even the ship vendors. And that was inspired by our friend Starborn Stash. Or Universe C, where the universe or the Unity is just a door, a regular door, and no one knows why.
Okay, I'm gonna go with date chunks at the lodge. I think that one is fantastic. I would have to go Stash. Sorry, Stash. Only because as a Norwegian heritage person, I just can't grow a mustache. So I'm angry, and I can't do Stash. So ghost on that for sure.
Nice.
And that's leaves the last one. I forgot what it was.
Avoid. Unity is just a door. So
yeah, avoid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to Eclipse. Ready? We'll go Universe A. Andrasia can teleport, but only to roast you. Universe B. Sam Coe is 3 Sam Coes in a giant trench coat. Or that's Universe B. Or Universe C. Vasco has learned sarcasm and cannot be stopped. So 1 to date, 1 to avoid, 1 to ghost.
Oh my God, this is such a difficult decision. I'm going to date Andrasia roasting me. I think that would be fun. I'm going to Ghost, Sam Coe, or the three Sam Coes in a trench coat, and I will avoid the sarcastic Vasco. Like I don't know, man. I like all three of them. Like giving me some
think those
difficult
are all pretty
decisions.
good. Jessica says, "I gotta take off. You gotta take all three." She says,
I would
"Pocket
take all
size
three if I
can."
could. If we could jam them into the same universe, and I could have, Andresia roasting me while Vasco's being sarcastic, amazing, chef's kiss.
This
I
needs
would
to
like
be
to
a
see one
mod.
of those Comedy Central roasts with Andresia as the host. That would be great, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing. All right,
That would be a great one. Yep.
Captain CPU, ready? We're gonna
Ready.
go with Barrett, or Universe A. Barrett is now a noir detective narrating everything. Universe B, Sarah Morgan is aggressively into improv comedy. Or Universe C, the hunter is a motivational TikTok influencer. So one to date, one to avoid, or one to ghost.
Let's see. I would probably. Well, I'd probably date the one with Sarah just because Sarah's in it, but I don't know if I could handle her humor. That's a tough one. And then I would avoid Universe A and go to Universe B or Universe C because, yeah, I think the hunter would just be too much for me. Yeah.
I think you got a good point though. Like Sarah is artistic, right? She plays drums in a band. Maybe she'll be good.
That's
at
true.
writing.
She did have the band thing, so maybe she's got a sense of humor. Yeah.
All right,
She's never shown me it, but that's it.
to stay away from Sarah. All right, I call this one. We'll go with this one. I call this one my my Buddhist category. All right. So Universe A, the unity manifests as your old high school guidance counselor. Universe B, every star system is now a mindfulness retreat. Or Universe C, you reincarnate as a different sandwich every time you die.
Oh my god. I'm ghosting the counselor. I don't want the sandwiches. What was the other one?
The other one was you reincarnate as a sandwich. Every star system is a mindfulness retreat, and the universe, the unity was a old high school.
I'm down with the mindfulness. Let's head in that direction. We can date that one.
Nice. All right, game number 2. All right, this is called the Captain's Gauntlet. My dog is going absolutely ape shit in the background here. The Captain's Gauntlet. I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. I'm firing off favorite or worst questions. So we'll talk about ships, systems, characters, gear, and we'll see how many you can blast through before time runs out. I get my my sand timer here, and we'll
Catan
go on
special.
this, right? We'll go Eclipse, Captain CPU, Ren, and Dwayne. And you'll all answer. You'll just go as fast as you can, like in a line. The last time we did this, I think Jessica, you in the comments you could tell me if I'm right, but I think we only got through one round. All right, so we're gonna go Eclipse, CPU, Ren, and Dwayne. Ready? Here we go. 30 seconds. Go. We're gonna do worst companion to be stuck in an elevator with.
Sam Coe.
I agree. Sam Coe. Yeah, no, that would not be good.
Barrett.
Sam Coe. Sorry, Cherry Bomb. He is boring. His voice puts me to sleep.
Which companion NPC makes you question your life's choices?
Which companion and NPC makes me question my life choices?
Either or.
I am going to say Ron Hope.
I would say Barrett because he he really confuses me sometimes. Yeah. I'm going to go with Barrett. But I think he does it intentionally. Yeah.
Maria. Yeah, Maria. She's got me all sorts of confused.
I'm going to go Sarah because I keep stabbing people and she just keeps disapproving.
Nice. Ren, are you talking about the new? She has some good lines.
She's interesting, man. I am. There's moments, man. It's just like, and then there's other times where I'm like,
I'll tell you, we haven't done a lot of shows. I think we've done 3 podcasts so far, and there's an underlying character who's getting a lot of hate, and that's Barrett.
Dusty.
That's true. He did get a lot last time, didn't he? Yeah.
He keeps asking me for money, and I'm just like, I don't know.
But I love Barrett. I think he's great. But
he was my first character.
Could be a little
on my very
difficult.
first run through. He was my first character on my first run through. I loved him, but since then,
I was fine with him until he spawned 2 of himself, and then I was like, it was too many.
Too many. All right, weekend update. Game 3, ripped from the headlines. Give me your hottest takes. Number 1, this week, 2 factions agreed to a 2-week ceasefire with caveats. Which Starfield companion would absolutely negotiate a ceasefire and then immediately undermine it with a single sentence? And which faction is most likely to agree to a ceasefire with a dozen caveats and none of which they intend to honor?
Is there an order to answer this one? Oh, sorry.
We'll go. Where are we gonna go? We'll go Eclipse, Captain, Ren, Dwayne.
I see Delta agreeing to a ceasefire and immediately undermining it. The second one, I am going to go with Sarah Morgan on that.
Nice.
She is quite a handful.
Yes. And so I haven't gotten to Delta. Have you guys all gotten to Delta yet?
Oh,
I
love Delta. He like, you're either going to love him or hate him. Some people just absolutely hate Delta. I love it. So I'm a fan of robot companions. Give me more of them.
For sure. I can't wait. All right, who's next? We'll go Captain CPU.
I'm going to have to say Barrett again, damn it. I think he would negotiate this. I think he would negotiate the ceasefire beautifully. He would be eloquent. He would be charming. And then he'd walk out and say something like, "It was good to see the Free Stars ambassador getting along with the counselor's wife. Bye." And, just run off. He would just wreck the whole thing. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Barrett on that.
Nice. Renfield?
That was 2 questions, right? So the first one was which character would negotiate a ceasefire and then undermine it. I got to go with Barrett too, because his whole Newton's third law stuff. He's gonna just turn around and say something snarky on the way out the door to just be like, "Hey, let's see how this all plans out." And the second one was it which faction is most likely to go to a ceasefire?
Yeah, which faction is most likely to agree and then with all the caveats, but intend to honor none of them?
Yeah, Crimson Fleet, man. Don't trust anything. No.
And how about you, Dwayne?
I'm continuing my hate for Sam Coe because I think he would literally lull the negotiation to sleep with that raspy sleep potion voice of his. And then I would also choose Crimson Fleet as well. So
you were just trying to talk about Cora the whole time.
Yeah, right.
All right. In New Atlantis, we'll stick with the same. I think it was Eclipse, CPU, Ren, and then Dwayne. All right. Here's question number 2. In New Atlantis, a high-profile investigation this week revealed some truly unhinged internal messages by a UC security officer. Which companion would get caught sending the most unhinged, career-ending messages on their data pad? And which faction would have the messiest internal chat logs if subpoenaed? Now, I got this from a case in Boston, where a police officer was killed. Karen Reed, you guys all know the Karen Reed case. Police officer was killed, and they blamed this lady for hitting her in the car. And when they had the courtroom, all the cops had these crazy text messages between each other, and it was just a mess. Still going on in a way. And so, which character would get caught sending the most unhinged career-ending messages on their data pad, and which faction would have the messiest internal chat logs if subpoenaed?
I would imagine Sarah Morgan would have a blow up over that. She's very strong-headed in her moral beliefs, and I think the UC would probably have the most unhinged internal messages. They're really kind of messed up. I believe they have a serial killer war criminal in their basement.
They do. Amazing. Captain CPU?
Who would have the most unhinged? I want to say Andrasia, but I think it'd be Sarah. I think she's kind of a freak. It's always the quiet one, the straight-laced one. I think her messages would be pretty weird and out there. She's been surfing the dark web. She has. I think if there was an internal chat log that was messed up, I would say Freestar, because you got one group over here doing business, and you got another one doing pleasure, and you got another one over here doing frontier stuff, whatever they do with cows and whatnot, and then another one. You got all these different things, and they get all mixed up. I think it'd be pretty messy. Yep.
How about you, Dwayne?
I'd have to go with Mathis, I think, because he's my current companion, so I know that he just absolutely doesn't care about anything. I think a lot of his data pad messages would just be filled with half scribbled notes about how everyone else is like a weak, pathetic fool.
And Ren?
I think it'd be Miria, because she just doesn't give a flying rat's about anything, and I think she would just be off there writing her little goth messages about like mushrooms and corpses, and yeah. And then on that same note with the which faction, I think the Crimson Fleet would have the most crazy messages, because they're all in it for themselves. They're all fighting amongst themselves. There's going to be threats that are being sent. There's going to be lying and thieving, and I think it would be absolute chaos, just like it is when you go to their ship.
Nice. All right, let's get into the next topic. Let's talk about the new stuff. Let's jump into the After Dark deep dive. Let's hear you guys' thoughts on Free Lanes and Terran Armada. And so let's start with we'll go Ren, Dwayne, Eclipse, Captain CPU. What's your favorite edition so far, and what has surprised you the most?
Okay, so favorite edition, it's the database for sure, because it has streamlined all of my travel in terms of being able to just favorite the places I want to go to, and instead of needing to open up the galaxy map to like manually go to Jemison, I can just pop in, scroll over to the settlement section. There's Aquila, there's Neon, there's all the planets where you've got places you can go. You can quickly get to your outpost, find all the resources that you need. I think for me, the database has been the coolest. What has surprised me the most? Honestly, the very first time I used cruise mode, I knew, because I had gone and seen it in action, so I knew that there were new POIs that were coming, and it was one thing to see it being played on screen in the theater at Bethesda, but it was another thing to be sitting there in my home. I go into cruise mode, and I'm all of a sudden it's like there's stuff just popping up left and right. There are all these like random POIs. And it's like, well, that's new. That one I've seen before. That's new. That one I've seen before. That's new. That's new. That's new. So I think it was a very surprising, to see the new POIs in action, because that was definitely something. I think that was despite my love for the game, that was a fair criticism of the launch version of the game, is there was some repetitiveness to those POIs. Once you've put 500 hours into the game, you're going to see the same, shit a few times. So, Yeah, pleasantly surprised by all the new POIs with cruise mode, and also on planets and everything else. That has been very, very, very cool. Oh, and probably just hand in hand with that is the pre-built um, outpost that you could just drop down, and it's already got all the decorations inside of it, and I don't have to worry about it. I can just be like, nice view, bed to sleep in. I'm good.
Can I ask a quick side question? What
Yeah.
was going to Bethesda like?
I joked about it because I haven't left my house, for a long time because I'm kind of retired. I don't have to go anywhere anymore unless I want to. And I've gotten, half a dozen offers over the last 6 months to go places, and I'm like, no thanks, no thanks. I don't want to go to LA. I don't want to go to Vegas. I don't want to go to Amsterdam. And then Bethesda was like, I'm going to go to Bethesda because I like Starfield and I really am looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6, so I'd like to meet these people. And I think the thing that I really liked the most was when you get in and you start to meet all the people who are working there, and you see that it's all the people who have been there for 30 years. And so they're not hiring from outside, they're promoting from within. And I think that that's a very telling thing for an organization that has built itself up over all these generations of the games that we've all come to love, where rather than bringing in outside talent to be like, you're going to be the new head of production, it's like, oh no, you've been here working your way up from QA to producer to executive producer. Now you're this lead, now you're head of studio. I think that was something that was, and everybody was just super cool, like super friendly. That was nice. It was very much, it kind of felt like a family environment, as opposed to, I've been to some places where it feels very corporate. I did
Yeah.
not get a corporate vibe from
That's so
everybody. Big, huge cafeteria. Everyone's hanging out, eating lunch together. It was,
What a great
and that
environment.
building has like 160 people in it or something. So it's pretty cool.
Wow, it sounds like such a great environment. That's awesome. That's awesome. What about
That's
you,
amazing.
Dwayne? What about your favorite edition so far? What surprised you the most about all this new content?
Yeah, quick sidebar on Renfield's note. Did you listen to the Jeff Kaplan podcast about? It was like a 3-hour long podcast talking about his experience at World of Warcraft. It just reminded me exactly of what you just said about how they promote from within.
I have
Anyway.
listened to parts of it, not the whole thing. I've caught
Yeah,
probably
it's
about
long. It's
half
like-
of. Yeah, I've caught half of it.
Mhm.
That's the reason. It's like 3 hours. It's like I got to carve out 30 minutes here, but I have gone through about half of it. It's a very interesting listen for those who haven't listened to it.
Right, is it Lex Friedman? I think,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. Let's see. Surprise. I think the game changer is the database. I gotta agree with you again. I mean, that was an absolute brilliant addition to the game. I'm new into this new content. I haven't spent much time into it. I'm immediately using the database a lot. So I'm loving that. Yeah. And the surprise is probably the action figure thing. I haven't found any yet because I'm new to it. But it was a big surprise. I was like, this is a really cool little extra thing, kind of like with the pets, the action figures, just kind of like one of those quality of life additions that is just really cool.
Action figures, man. I can't. I'm so pumped for the action figure. I haven't found them either, any of them yet, either. But I'm definitely super pumped. Eclipse.
So my favorite addition has to be X-Tech in the incorporation of using credits in crafting, because I'll tell you, I had a mountain of credits on my character and nothing to spend them on. It was kind of one of those things where I didn't bother picking up anything to sell it anymore because I just had all the money I needed. And then the biggest surprise I think I got was Mara in finding that companion. That was a nice addition to Starfield because it kind of gives you a little bit darker tone with the companions, which was kind of lacking within the base game experience. So I do love that they added that, and they added it as part of Free Lane, so it's not tied into some DLC. It's there for everyone to kind of balance out all these companions. So that was a nice surprise. I didn't know that was coming until probably 2 days beforehand, but I've been absolutely enjoying her as a companion for right now.
How about you, Cap?
I think POIs is my favorite thing. I've been posting about that for the last couple of days just because I keep running into them and I keep running into new ones and I keep running into more new ones. And I think that's it. Just makes the game feel more alive to me. So I think that's probably the biggest one. The biggest surprise though was cruise mode. I didn't think the game needed it. I was worried it was just going to be a really fast way to go someplace. As long as they kept it optional, I didn't really care. And now I find myself using it all the time. They did a fantastic job of making sure that it was engaging. There was a reason to use it. And I don't know. It just really hit me a lot better, a lot more than I thought it would. It was a lot more useful. And I don't know. It's one of those things that I got excited about because I wasn't excited about it.
Yeah. I found an illicit, what is it called? Illicit surgery center today. Have you guys found that yet? The POI?
No, I
That's the
haven't
one with
seen
the
that
bridge across and the.
Yeah, super vibes.
What's it called?
What's that?
What's it called?
It's called the Illicit Surgery Center.
Oh,
Yeah, I was blown away. It's so cool, man. I don't know. I felt like it was something out of like Fallout. You know, like you'd find in Fallout or something. It was cool.
That's pretty dark.
Yeah, really dark, right? I just cleared it out, so I haven't even gone back. I haven't even gone back to like look at like data slates and like the computers to see what the story is behind it. But yeah, pretty dope. Pretty dope. All right, question 2. Has this game or has the new content, Free Lanes or in Terra Armada, has it changed how you play the game? How do you like, or how do you personally approach? Let's actually go with this. How do you personally approach like a massive update like this? Do you just try to go through it all at once? Do you like take one section and like how do you guys approach like something so big like this? To me feels like almost like enough content for like a whole new game. So how do you approach that? How do you approach this massive update? Let's go Ren, Dwayne, Eclipse, and Captain.
so I can answer that in twofold ways, because if it had not come to the PS5, the way I normally would approach it is I would just take my existing character, go straight to the new content, finish that, and then because of the new game plus mechanic, I probably would have then pushed into a new game plus just to experience whatever it is to see all over again. And that, because that character I've had on the Xbox for 2.5 years, he's I'm in my 3rd Unity at this point. I've got about 600 hours on him, so I would just run him through. But because they launched it on the PS5 Pro, I made the decision, or the PS5, excuse me, I made the decision to go play it on my PS5 Pro, start from scratch. It's a brand new audience. I could do new guides and everything else. So I've been playing it from the beginning in a way that I haven't done since the game first launched, which is no skills, no credits, nothing. And one of the things that has kind of fundamentally changed how I approach things is obviously there's a little bit of meta knowledge behind me, but the way that the X-Tech, knowing how that works, and the fact that I can take somebody, I think it was somebody said about the Tombstone weapon, right? That is a phenomenal rifle, by the way. So being able to like come in as a level 1 character and know that I could take X-Tech and credits and take that same gun, excuse me, from level 1 all the way through to the end and then through the Unity with me again, and I could just keep upgrading it, adding mods to it, adding more modifiers to it, and just all the way until it's maxed out as an exotic weapon and I've got 5 million credits into it. That, and like being able to do the same thing with your gear, being able to mod the ships with that gear now. I think the X-Tech has opened up a whole new way to play the base game, because now you can also, if you really want to go off the deep end, like I have been stockpiling spacesuits because they look cool, and it's like maybe I'm gonna mod that at some point down the road and make that a max level suit and take it with me. And that's something I didn't do the first time around because there was a limitation on how far you could take those existing modifications with your crafting stuff. So I think that has definitely made me approach the game a little bit differently than I would have before. because I know now that I can take stuff with me through the Unity. And beforehand, you couldn't do that. So it was like, well, this is just throwaway shit. I'm not going to, it's not that big of a deal. But now it's like, oh, actually, I do want that cool gun or that cool suit because I can carry it with me for a long, 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 long time. I think that has definitely changed how I approached it from the new player's perspective, which I probably wouldn't have done had it not been for the fact that it came to the PlayStation.
Such a big difference, right? Such a big, like you
Yeah,
said,
because like cruise mode, I agree with what was said a minute ago. I didn't need it. Like I was okay with the way cruise mode was before. I do like how it's added an extra layer to the space flight, but also it's just another layer. It's cool, but like modification of my gear into infinity and beyond is like, take me with you, sir. I like my X-Tech.
How about you,
It's a
Dwayne?
fantastic addition. Yeah, I think it's for me. It's just longevity. I am approaching the game as just something that I can continue to play for years, just like I've done with other Bethesda games. And I mean, in a sense, this new edition, all these additions don't mean a whole lot at the moment because I'm still slowly progressing my way through the original content to some degree. The new stuff is kind of sprinkling in, which is great. But for me, it's just kind of like this joy process of, playing the game that I like and knowing that there's a lot there to keep discovering.
Cool. Eclipse?
So I have a weird strategy I use when I play any new Bethesda content, and it's because their content's structured a certain way. And I picked this up in Morrowind. So I play through the intro of the story, and then they always stop off at like a point where you can kind of exit the main story and do side quests. With Morrowind, it was getting to like Balmora, and you talk to Cassius Clay, and he tells you to go join all the guilds and stuff and explore the world. And this is basically how Bethesda wants you to play their games. Shattered Space, it was the same way. You got up off the elevator into Dazra, and the first thing happens, you get bombarded by a side quest, and they want you to go out and do those side quests. So with Terran Armada and Freelanes, it's a little bit different because we have this large update and then a DLC, of course. So I went and I dived right into the DLC, and I played up to Anchor Point. And then now I'm doubling back, and I'm doing all the Freelanes content, and then I'm going to do the side quests for Terran Armada, then finish with the main story. That's kind of how I structure it. I love to end like on a bang with the main story, but get all that side content in as well.
Nice. Captain?
The way that I approached it is I went right through the Unity, fresh start, no mods. So I'm still playing the DLC, taking it real slow, but because everything's all new and right there, it's like, ooh, shiny, and then just going off in all sorts of different directions. So, but I want to say what Ren said about the X-Tech and the upgrading the weapons, that's probably the biggest change, I think, is how they've tied you to the game in part through gear. It really gives you a reason to keep something. It really gives you a reason to get invested in something. And being able to upgrade that is just going to be, it already is fantastic.
Such a smart
I
change.
can't say enough about that change. It's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Especially
Really?
the new guns from Terran Armada are very customizable. You can really make them your own.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of new attachments that they've added to them that look pretty neat.
All right. Which part of the settled systems feels most ripe for the next DLC for you guys? Let's go Ren, Dwayne, Eclipse, and Cap.
I have the same answer I've given ever since the game launched, and it's the pushback point I give to anybody who claims that the 1,000 planets are empty and there's nothing to do. The foundation layer here is a game that could, like Skyrim or Morrowind or Oblivion, a game that can last for generations and be played 15, 20 years into the future. And if you look at the way the creations are working and how people are able to push that content into the game, the 1,000 planets are a great foundation, to do whatever the hell they want, because they can go onto all of these procedurally generated planets and put handcrafted POIs, handcrafted missions, handcrafted anything, and layer that on top of what's already there. And with what people can do with the creations on top of that, I think that's personally, for me, I think that's a great thing. If you're asking specifically for a DLC, I would love, and I doubt we're going to get it, because I think they want to keep it all needs to be kind of a secret, kind of like with Grammar and Elder Scrolls. They don't ever want to exactly specifically tell you what happened to them. I would love to see a furthering of that Starborn story. Who were the first? Like, what is the mystery there? Who built the Unity? Where did these artifacts come from? Because that's never, it's this mystery that's, I think, meant to be a mystery permanently. But I think that would be a really cool place to explore, is that, or going into a Babylon 5 style, great, Mass Effect sort of great big bad guy coming back, from the great recesses of space and threatening the entire settled systems could be fun, and having the Starborn be somehow attached to, defeat that threat. There's ways they could go, but I do think that the foundation layer being the planets is one of the most important things, to then add handcrafted POIs to that with whatever storyline they choose.
Right, with all those planets, they have unlimited options. Right, we could be playing this game for years. Dwayne?
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback off that, I would say truly any of the systems. I mean, they're like Renfeld said, it's a foundation that I don't feel any specific system, but I do think it'd be interesting to get maybe true aliens, intelligent aliens, or there's just so many potential, like, DLC game types, I guess you could say, that, I mean, I don't even know where to start, but yeah, I just think that it's a fantastic foundation.
How about you, Eclipse?
For me, I've been saying this for a long, long time. I want to see a faction quest for List. I think that would be an awesome
Wow.
addition.
Yeah,
Is adding a faction
I
quest.
forgot about them.
They were my favorite faction, and the fact that they didn't have like a faction quest kind of like upset me a little bit. I loved the manifest destiny themes that come out, and like the settling the settled systems. Be an awesome way to kind of populate those planets with unique points of interest, is having List send you out to, like, say, different colonies to go do different tasks for them and develop like a whole entire faction quest. So if anyone at Bethesda is listening, please give me a List faction quest.
I haven't heard that one at all. Like, that's such an interesting idea. Like, really, really imaginative. That's great. Captain CPU?
That would be excellent. List would be a really good one. I never thought of that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Bethesda has a real opportunity here. They have a game where they've created, like you said, the foundation, and they could upgrade it endlessly. I mean, until we run out of hard drive space. I don't think they will, but I'd love to see them do a Starborn DLC. Maybe they will. Maybe it won't be what I expect, but I would really love to see that. I'd like to know, where do you get the ship and the outfit from?
Right.
Where does that come from? Where did the temples come from? Who are the creators? I would love to know that stuff, even if it's just a few more hints. But I think that would be great. More immediately, I'd obviously love to see some upgrades to photo mode. That's just my own personal thing. I think they could do some maintenance releases or little small releases until they get a full DLC. I think they need a full DLC next. They need a big one, a $20, $30, sort of thing.
I think they could get away with like $10 ones more frequently.
I think they could do that. I really do think they could, and I think that's where the opportunity for Bethesda lies. Is that they could pump out an upgrade to the animation system, for example, give us more poses and more combat animations. They could do more prefab buildings for the outposts. I love that little hut thing that they give you. They just plop it down, and I'm done. My outpost is finished. I'd love to see more little stuff like that. So I think they could do some smaller updates, and I hope they do, and then give us a big one that they could really wow us with.
Awesome. All right, final question, the Aurora scale, all right? Using the Aurora scale and taking all of the new content and updates into account, rate Starfield as a game. All right, 0 Aurora is the best, right? Because you don't need any drink to get through your game. It's a once-in-a-lifetime game. 5 Auroras is the worst, meaning it means you needed like 5 Aurora fastballs just to get through the game. So 5 is the worst, 0 is the best. Renfield, what are you going to go with now that we've gotten a taste of the free lanes and the Terra Normata?
Not that it needs it, but I'm going with a 2 because I do like the game with a good buzz. So
nice. A little glow.
Just a little hint, just a little hint of glow on the horizon.
How about you, Dwayne?
Well, like Barrett's power, where you can like split yourself. I'm gonna take 5 and I'm gonna take 0 simultaneously because it's almost too sandboxy sometimes. Like
Sure.
you get in there and it's so expansive that you're like, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. And I think that's a criticism that actually some of my friends have said. You know, they get in the game, they need more rails. I know it's not that kind of a game because it's a Bethesda game, but still. So having said that, a 0 and then 5. So
Love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Eclipse?
So
What's that?
If I was going to rate it, I think a 1 Aurora. Like there's some flaws in Starfield, but it offers some very unique experiences within the video game world that I can't find elsewhere. So like despite the flaws, like I'm gonna rate it high just because of like a lot of the feeling of it. I like the freedom. And like I do agree, there's no rails. That's like one of the things I like about it, but I know that is very off-putting to a lot of people. Like there's nothing to guide you and tell you like, hey, go do this next. So that's kind of a weird one to kind of roll around my head because like I'm kind of like in the opposite, but I know people do experience that problem where they don't have like that guidance and they can't find what they want.
And Captain CPU?
Oh, I'd give it a 0, but I'm already on Aurora, so that's fine. I'm just I'd be out of my mind on Aurora, and I'd still give it a 0. It's a fantastic game, and that is a good point. I sometimes forget that I really, really love the games where there are no rails, there are no guidance. You go out and you do. I'm the kind of guy that as soon as I get off the wagon in Skyrim, I wander off into the forest. That's the type of game I like to play. But most people don't like that game that much. They don't like that type of game quite to that degree, where there has to be some guidance to it. So I never really thought of that before. But yeah, I'd give it a 0. It's right up there in my top 2 ever.
I mean, for me, it's definitely a 0. All right, you guys have been awesome. The 4 of you have been amazing. I'm so stoked you guys could all join tonight. Let's take a couple of minutes. Just tell the Settled Systems where they can find you. Tell them what you've been up to and what projects you guys have cooking for the future. Let's start with Renfield.
Okay, so I am live every single day on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok at 5 a.m. Central. I go for about 3 or 4 hours, and I come back again at 1 p.m. and do it all over again. This is the day job. I play a lot of games. We're playing a lot of Starfield right now. I just started Replaced yesterday because it's out on Game Pass. Hades 2 just dropped. We're really dipping into that. I've got Diablo 4's DLC at the end of the month, and then Sorrows on the PS5. Then next month, we've got Lego Batman, Directive 8020, the James Bond game, and Forza. That's just the next couple of months scheduled out. So yeah, everything in between happens on YouTube. I'm on all the socials. There's Patreon, merch store, Discord, Amazon links. I've got a homestead channel with ducks and cats and chickens and shit. So it's all over the place.
Awesome. Dwayne?
That's awesome. Yeah, you can find me at Normal People Gaming on YouTube. We do the Normal People Starfield with Normal People podcast, and we also have a gaming podcast just called Normal People Gaming with me and my buddy Michael. So check that out, and you can find me on Instagram at Dwayne Wick, WIK. I do car content, so I work on like classic Porsches and stuff like that. If you're into car stuff, not video. I have video game stuff and I have car stuff. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Eclipse?
So you can find me at SF Eclipse on YouTube and then also on Twitter. Right now, I do have a couple modding projects that I'm working on. Kind of slowed down a little bit on video production because a lot of people are making content for the update and all. So I kind of took a little bit of a break and I'm working on some mod projects. So I do have a mod I just released and then a mod that I'm going to be updating soon. They just add new planets. People complain there's too many planets within Starfield, so I decided to add a bunch more. They're free and available. I am working on getting it someone to test it for PlayStation, so I can upload it safely to PlayStation and know that it works and it's stable. But yes, look for that. I will have like a behind the scenes video coming out probably in like the next couple days, showing like the construction process of making like a new star system in Starfield, which is rather complicated and convoluted.
What's the name of the mod?
Okay, so I have 3 of them. One is Proxima Centauri. That is the most boring mod you'll ever see because I based it off science, and Proxima Centauri is a very boring star. Then there's 2 others. I have one called Tycho. That's all about like orbital dynamics. And then I have one called Pythias. That one's getting a major update very shortly. And that one is all about exploration. So I tried to pick scenic backdrops, very tight orbits, so skyboxes look amazing. The update I have coming for it is going to be focusing on biomes and fauna. So I've recreated like 15 different fauna that I'm going to be spreading throughout that system. And then I also swapped out about 14 biomes that I thought were a little bit more boring for things that are a little bit more spicy, a little bit more interesting, and aesthetically pleasing. So I hope people enjoy it. We'll see. My playtesters will let me know if it's boring.
That's awesome. Captain?
I just gotta say, Jessica says Pythias is sick. I love that. It really is. It's a virtual photographer's dream for one, and the skyboxes are absolutely incredible. I couldn't live without them now. A lot of the cool pictures you see come from that system. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's one of the big ones. I'm on X, by the way. Kind of on everything, but if you want to reach me, I'm on X. A little on Discord, so DMs via Discord would be good. I'm still doing virtual photography. Got some articles coming up that are kind of science lore, like how grab drive works and how cruise mode actually works. Kind of the science behind it, but more science fiction. It's not like a physics lecture or anything. Got some more music coming. And the thing I'm working on now, which is probably the biggest thing, is going to be some fiction that's coming out. So we'll be publishing some fiction soon.
That's great. And where can you find your fiction?
Right now it's on Archive of Our Own. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, AO3.
And sometimes you post it on X, right?
I post bits of it,
Yep.
but the long form fiction, like short stories and stuff, and even longer, that'll have to be on another platform. And so far, AO3 is the one that I'm leaning towards. It's a little rudimentary for readers, but it works pretty well for authors, and I think most people can stomach reading off of it. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome. Well, huge thanks to all of you guys. Thank you, Renfail. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Starfield Eclipse, and thank you, Cap CPU, for making this Podisode super dope. I just want to say thanks to my wife, Lady Farquhar, our daughters, Jupiter and Mars, and my my puppy who was just around here causing all sorts of havoc. Thanks to them. You can find me on TikTok at HicksNGPLUS, at HicksNG+. On X, you can find me at Pedro Fark, and on YouTube at Starfield After Dark. I can be found lurking in Dwayne's Discord in the
everyone.
screenshot section.
Come join the Discord.
Yeah, come join Dwayne's Discord for normal Starfield with normal people. You want to be a guest or you want to send me some feedback, hit me up at settledsystems@gmail.com. We'll also put an edited copy of this episode on Spotify. Make sure you like and subscribe. Next week, we're going to have a special guest. We're going to have Miria Sharkevich. We're going to have the voice actor El Leon with Jessica Starr and Sweet Pea 704 and Jax from the Starfield Report. So thanks everybody for coming by. Come back next time and check it out. Catch a smile, everybody. Starfield rules. Bye, everybody.